chime on in. Yay! Happy Saturday! Happy Saturday! Happy Saturday! Happy Saturday. So let me get to the point. Let's get through with the business of the page. I'm Nekia Foxx from Nekia Foxx & Company, where I help amazing men and women transform from the inside out. But today, on this Satisfaction Saturday, I wanted to come in and just be once again a word of encouragement, because somebody needs to hear this. It's all coming together for your good. Every single aspect of this thing, right? So I was thinking the other day, it's almost like if you were to go to the glaciers and you see this peak of the iceberg coming out of the water, you're thinking that is it. But really, in reality, it's such a foundation underground that has taken place in just in order for you to see. Hello, Mr. Franklin. Just in order for you to see what is physical above the water, that's the same way in our lives. The Lord is doing a mighty work in this season. I know it has been tough. It has been tight. It has been right. But listen here, every single aspect of your life, the things that tore you down, the things that hurt you, the things that made you doubt, you needed every single one of those experiences. I was telling a client the other day that you would not be the person that you are today if you would not have gone through what you went through. If you would not have faced that frustration. That's why you know without a shadow of a doubt. Blessings, Barbara. That's why you know without a shadow of a doubt that you're going after it like never before in this hour. If you would not have gone through that rejection, you would not have had the tenacity to really get to know yourself and love yourself on another level. It's all designed to work for our good, every single aspect of this life. And in the harder times is when we actually get molded, and that's when we get our biggest advancements, right? So the times when it was smooth sailing is not when we got our biggest advancement. Blessings, Samantha. The times where we seen the biggest advancements and elevations in our lives was when what? It was some of the hardest seasons that we made it out of. Some of the biggest lessons that you learned came connected to pain, right? But at the same time, those are the things in which you appreciate more, or that gave you some real foundational principles to stand on in your life, right? Like, let's be real. Like, really, let's be real. Blessings, Samantha. Hey, Miss Blessings. Hey, Sadie, how you doing? I just wanted to come in on this beautiful Saturday just to be a word of encouragement, because we are in this thing together. Listen, when you win, I win. When I win, you win. That's why we have to literally get a level of tunnel vision and to focus on our internal aspects of our lives. And let's see if we change the perspective. Instead of looking at it as opposition, look at it as an opportunity to elevate, to level up, to look at it in a way that God, normally nothing we face is not going to make us better. Every single thing is going to make us better. The challenges make us champions, right? Like, see, if we change our perspective in this thing, it's all about what you choose to take out of the situation, and how you choose to allow yourself to go through it. Listen here, you can go through it fighting and screaming on the ground. You can go through it slobbing and crying. You can go through it with a level of grace. We get better and better at it. Blessings. Thank you kindly. Blessings. Yeah, listen, this is our season. I told you all that we also have to know what season we're in, because everybody around you is in different seasons. Some people is in a season of planting and getting foundational things together. Some people are in a season of tearing down, where it looks like they losing everything and everything is in chaos. Some people is in a season of standing still. Some people are in a season of reaping. Some people are in a season of planting. You have to know what season you're in so you don't get sidetracked looking to the left or to the right on someone else's journey. What season are you in? I told you all, listen, the whole first 7 months of this year, listen, I had to regroup internally on a level in order to maximize the latter part of this year the way it is going to be maximized. I had to get myself together in a way that, listen here, that's right, challenges make us champions, right? But I sacrificed, meaning that I had to sacrifice coming to a lot of events. I had to sacrifice money. I had to sacrifice doing a whole ton of clients. Listen, being busy and not taking care of your internal self is that's not wise. Yeah, you might, because listen, I went through a season of my life, right, where I was hustling. I was making a lot of money, and it was good. It was good, and and sometimes things that look like it's good when the big picture really isn't good. But I was feeling myself get depleted on a level. Like, it had good, it sounded good, it looked good, but that's why we have to use wisdom. It's going to be some opportunities that come your way. Every opportunity you can't jump on. You have to know what season you're on. You have to know how can you literally, am I at a position that I can maximize this? Just because it's offered doesn't mean you have to accept, because you have to use wisdom moving forward. What season are you on? Because a lot of people were saying, well, what's going on with X, Y, and Z in your life? Listen here, honey. I am in still mode. I am in healing on another level mode. I am on taking care of my vessel. I am on learning how to calm down my spirit. I am on learning how to master my mind on another level. I'm reading right now. I'm going internally and letting a lot of purging goes out, because see, when the purging process happens, it feels very confusing, because that old self wants to stay in the new self, in that new mindset, and all the new literally your new walk and your new talk is having a conflict. So normally you're going to be dealing with a lot of internal conflict that a lot of people they run from. When they see it, they're like, oh, I'm supposed to be feeling this. No, you're just purging out of a lot of that old emotions, old thought processes, old thinking, old reactions. All of that is still in your spirit, so it has to come out. And normally, in order for it to come out, you normally have to face a lot of situations for you to respond differently that we don't like, right? But we have to face a lot of challenging situations that allow us to get the capacity to do better and better and better, so we can become champions in that area, right? So we no longer are triggered by those things, and we are able to be healed in that area, so it no longer affects us in the way that we used to be affected by, and to have that stronghold on us like it used to have. But that requires you intentionally focusing. Blessings, Kim. Blessings to Mayor. That requires, you can't do everything at the same time. Listen, I had to tell my trainer, let me hold off on the personal training. Let me focus on this eating. So once I focus on mastering on this eating, I definitely am going to get back to the one-on-one aspect of it. But what area in your life should you be mastering right now? Some people need to master cleanliness. Just listen, my house is going to be clean 7 days a week, 4 weeks a month. Like, that's something that they need to be focusing on in their life, and it might seem small to some, but listen, cleanliness is next to godliness, and cleanliness brings on clarity. So when you are organized, when you can find things, when things feel good around you, you normally respond much differently, right? So some people might be focusing on cleanliness in their life, clean thoughts, clean atmospheres, clean interactions, no more toxic situations. It seems small, but that very aspect, hey Shonda, hey Kim Nicholson, that very aspect of those things, components of our lives, because it depends on the season that you're in. Some people are focusing on just literally money management, because if you want to be a multi-million, trillion billionaire, if you can't manage $10,000 a month, how are you going to manage millions per month? How are you going to manage? You see where I'm going? We have to gain a level of capacity and mastery, which is self-mastery in areas of our lives that normally you can't do it all at the same time. Some people are focusing on building relationships, but in order for them to first focus on building relationships, they had to get healed first, because when you go in connecting to individuals when you still are hurt, and hurt people, right? I went through literally a long period of time of just healing my heart in reference to how I see women, how I view men, so that my interactions would start being different. And that's intentional. We must be intentional. You just don't just, get good at things overnight. You get good at it once you know exactly where you are, your pros and your cons in different areas of our lives, right? I was reading a book the other day. Is this? Oh, but let me do a slight pause. If you don't have this book, you need to get it. That's on the money aspect of it. Listen, some people are focusing on getting more income in their life right now. So they're like, well, what can I do, Lord? I need to make more money. I'm right here. See, you might need to focus on creating some passive income, right? So maybe you're going to get into the real estate industry and maybe buy a rental property, and so it can create some passive income. Some people maybe is getting into multiplying their gifts, so they bake and now they want to become, they want to, instead of just handing it away and say thank you, they're saying they're going to add some value to that same cupcake that you get the thank you that you feel so good for. That same cupcake, you can add value to it, and you can say, listen here, I know this is good, and I'm so glad that you are taking upon, accepting my gift. It costs X, Y, and Z, and now that created another stream of income from that household. Some people are working on finding themselves. I meet so many women that come to the salon after they have become mothers, wives, and they had to focus on the home for a long time. So they've lost themselves, right? They don't know what they like. They don't know. They just know they don't like what is in the mirror. I remember going through a season where I could not look in the mirror, right? I remember going through a season where I wore black every single day. My whole closet was black. And I remember my mom coming to see me, and she was like, what is going on? Because it was not me. But I was going through silent depression, right? I was going through functional depression, but just something simple as wearing black every single day, tights and loose clothes every single day. I had lost myself. I'm a very creative person, and my self-expression is not, it has nothing to do with nobody but what I want to start bringing forth out from my creative being, right? So the way I dress, the way my personality, all of that comes together, right? But if I lose that and I start just dimming it down, hey, Maya Miller, if I lose that about myself, that's an aspect of myself in order for me to become the woman that I need to become, because I know it's in my head, I'm going to have to find her again. So I meet a lot of women that are at a point where they have literally neglected their own personal viewpoint of themselves for so long, to now they're like, I don't know what I want. I just don't like what I see. I don't know. So maybe they're in a self-discovery phase where they're like, how do I want to feel? How do I want to look? How do I want my household to run? How do I want the energy and around me to be? How do I want my relationships to feel? What do I value? So we all are in different seasons of our lives. Every single one of us. So don't get sidetracked when you see somebody in their hustle season or their financial increase season. It was a whole lot of other seasons that had to take place in order for them to get ready for each season. Just like marriage. Listen, I told you all last year, I asked the Lord, I was like, my husband was supposed to be here last year. And guess what the Lord told me? You were so busy crossing off things off my list, your list that I told you that had nothing to do with me, right? And you were not in place. So I was so busy maximizing and executing when I was not getting myself internally ready for this helpmate, this man that, listen, you have to prepare for everything. You have to become a wife before you are a wife. Listen, when you get married, you are taking on this person's journey with them. Do you have the capacity not to be reactional every 5 minutes? Are you ready to expand, bringing somebody else in your environment, your mindset? You've been by yourself a very long time. Have you prepared yourself for that season? Everything is requiring preparation. So every single aspect in our lives is working out for our good. Even the frustration makes us even more faithful to keeping our peace. Listen, after being so frustrated in my life being disappointed time and time again. Listen, I said I refuse to continue to take myself down this road every 5 minutes because I'm expecting people to be like me. I'm expecting people to do as I would do. I'm expecting the only person I can change is myself, right? So let me take control of the things that I can control. So that went into being in a season of being responsible with my own vessel, meaning that, listen, you, Nekia, are responsible for how people treat you based on how you allow them to treat you. So what you allow continues. What energy are you giving off that you are attracting things that are not in alignment with what you say you want to experience? I went through seasons of having to do some real serious evaluations of why am I getting these conflict of interest? So I don't care what I'm saying, something is not connecting. So let me deal with myself. So that's why you see the transformation place came from me going through so many seasons of a lot of internal work, and it never ends, but you knowing what season you need that you're in so that you can know what you need to be doing so you don't get sidetracked. Every season is not a hustle season. Every season is not a get your money season. Some season is a sit yourself down season. Blessings, James Marco. Some season is I got to get off the grid season, meaning that I need to detox season. Some seasons, some people are in a season where they're so busy hustling, but their body is on low. Their blood pressure high, cholesterol all off, everything is in their body is getting all off whack. And now you're going to sit here and allow the enemy to trick you thinking you're making money and coming in weighing your vessel down, because your vessel is your only defense. Now you're reactional. Now your body is stressed out. Now you are literally... everything is coming around you trying to do a good old bomb on you, and you don't even see it because you don't know what season you need to be in right now. You hustling when you need to be sitting it down. You hustling when you need to be focusing on eating right. And us as believers of being of the body of Christ should be so connected in this season that you need to be eating better. How can you be a warrior and you can't even... I had to tell myself, how can you fight and be a warrior for Christ? And you breathing hard walking down, getting out my car, I'm breathing hard. Walking down the hallway, I'm breathing hard. I'm tired every 5 minutes. How are you a warrior if the enemy was to literally do, because he always do those side attacks and get your body all weary, and you not taking care of yourself and not putting yourself first so that you can be a good soldier, right? So listen, in the Bible, when they was going off to fight, didn't they had to do, and we saw examples. The Bible gave us examples. They had to do Daniel's fast. That was eating right, and they had more clarity. That was literally what they was getting themselves internally ready to go and be maximized and being able to go into war. We go out every single day, and you need to know how much blessings, Stephanie, you need to know what level you're on. Listen, if you are not feeling well in your best, hello Ashley Moreland, if you are not your best, you might need to sit it down. Don't go out and not represent your best. If you're in a season where you need to really heal on another level, don't put yourselves in environments that you know are going to trigger you because you can't handle it. If you're in a season where you know you have to use wisdom, wisdom is so much better than what sounds good or what feels good. Wisdom is what's going to get us on the top. Wisdom is going to allow us to have longevity, a level of consistency in our lives. Wisdom is going to allow us to have the fortitude to deal with things with grace, right? And it's not easy, but we must know what season we're in and appreciate the seasons where you're going through and it's like, oh my God, so much going on. Oh my gosh, but every single time so much was going on in my life that it looked like, oh Lord, oh gosh, this is so much. Listen, baby, when I tell you them blessings that came afterwards, the rainbow that came afterwards, listen here, the level of magnitude of the elevation that came after those fights give you the ability to look forward to an ending. You can get through it a little bit better when you look at the ending picture. So understand that every single season, even when you have to sit it down, is working for your good. Even when you have to slow it down, it's working for your good. Every season is not going to be a season of maximizing. Some seasons are all about slowing down. So every season of our life is working for our good. It's helping us become the person. So that'll give you a level of peace through your season. If you're in a season of sitting down, that you can't be on social media, you can't focus on X, Y, and Z right now because you don't have the capacity right now. If you're going through a spiritual dehydration season where you need to literally allow the Lord to get that one-on-one, and He wants to talk to you, He wants to calm your spirit down, He wants to show you some things. You don't get it twisted. That season you need more than the season that it look like it's increased on the outside. If you don't work on the internal seasons, you cannot maximize the external seasons. Listen, when it looked like everything alright, now it's your time to shine, right? It's your time to shine.